time. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline now. It's a free consultation.
800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131.
The Lou Information Station presents Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jensen and Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
Yeah, baby, 8:05 on a Tuesday. This is Hot Take Central 2.0, the Lou Information Station, live and on demand at louinfo.com. Get them in, by the way, 314-590-3770. You could also call in at 855-282-8255. And you could also go on YouTube at Lou Info and just touch it. Press it. Boom. Then you'll see us, and I'm waving to you right now. What's up, everybody? Let's go.
Touch it.
Let's go.
Let's
go.
Yeah.
Cam Jansen, Matty Whitener, Matthew Rocchio, Jimmy the Cat Hayes, live from Colorado. And by the way, Hot Take Central is powered by the Audi Exchange in Kirkwood. Right there. Beautiful facility. Right over yonder. There, I can look at it. Hi. There you are. Awesome place. Really cool. Go check out those badass vehicles. Jimmy, what's going on out there, baby?
Well, they got a win, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Woo!
Been a little bit of a stretch before we got one of those, so that was nice. McGreevy looked good, and I'm here to say that McGreevy ain't going anywhere. He's staying up. Okay?
Yeah,
like
there it
I
is.
see that on the social media. I'm told that the plan is to kind of rest Palante and give him a break, like they have done with Libby, who won't make his next start. He's been just taken out of the rotation for this rotation through. And they're going to probably do that with Palante. They're going to find ways to keep McGreevy here, so Cardinal fans shouldn't worry about that. They'll find a way. Then tonight we have Fetty, so we'll see what happens there. Maybe McGreevy is the plan to take that spot, but we'll see how it plays out. And yesterday, Mo did talk about the trade deadline, and you sure got the feeling that they had already decided that they are going to look toward the future. Those are his words, as opposed to trying to beat things up now. He did say it's fluid, and they are in Colorado, where usually the visitors win. And then they have San Diego coming up when they return home, and that's a team that they're trying to catch for a wild card spot. So we'll see, but it sure seems like the Cardinals have made their decision that they're going to look toward next season and beyond. All right, that's my take.
Well, I like
Why'd
that.
you give that noise out when he said Fetty? How dare you do that? And you know what? I'm going to bet you right now that he's going to have a solid performance tonight.
You think he's going to shove?
I think Shove's really good, right? Because I remember Charlie saying shove all the time, and I think that's a really good outing. I'll bet you that he does pretty good.
Well, I hope he does, because if he does well, that means that the stock's up, baby. And you see if there's somebody there that's into it.
One part of the Mosaic thing that did jump out to me, and this was relayed by Katie Wu on Foul Territory, is she said that the intimation was still that if they feel like they can be that third wild card team, they still won't trade Ryan Helsley.
I mean,
yeah, I'm not so sure that they were interested in doing that right now. But look, what are they, 3.5 out of a wild card? We'll see if they can make a move with San Diego. As Mo said, it's fluid, so we'll see. But they're definitely going to be peddling off some wares.
well, so as I watched most of last night, and the part that really I like the takeaway that happened there is that towards the end of that game, with the exception of Helsley, you saw a lot of what the Cardinals have got available. So, I mean, you started off with that great effort from McGreevy. I mean, I think that justifies the fact that what he brings to the table and what he can do, he should be in there. We need to be getting a look at more of these young guys and more of them in the rotation for the last few months of the season. I mean, that's the most important thing to me. But then if you're looking at the option of them moving on and moving away, is you've got Romero that you bring out there, and he looks good. You have Phil Matan that comes out, and he looks great. You add Helsley into that equation as well, you're really showing teams like, look, if you are trying to get the bullpen together, if you are trying to, add a couple of key arms down the stretch, this may be your spot. I mean, and it could be, Kat, I'll ask you this. Do you see a scenario where what's more likely, actually, let's ask it a little differently. What's more likely, that the Cardinals empty out the pen and all those guys go plus potentially anybody else that's down there, or that 2 of the 3 go and they make that space open up from there?
I would say that they want to keep, some, as Mo would say, keep the powder dry in some areas. But look, I just got the sense that they might keep a guy here or there, but they're going to make, and a lot of it depends on what's being offered. We don't know what's being offered. Mo said at this point, everyone is going to start calling them. They've already seen an uptick in the chatter and teams reaching out to them, because he said teams saw what happened in Arizona. But I would say you got to keep some guys for the bullpen, right? You have to, and try to keep those guys in the mix for next season and beyond. JoJo has turned things around. He's got his velocity back. He made a couple of minor adjustments. He said he did some extra training in the gym to try to get that back. Mayton has been pretty much lights out. He's looked every bit like a closer.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, with Helsley, hadn't had a ton of great opportunities, but hadn't looked like he was last year when he was the most dominant closer in recent memory for the Cards.
Well, at what point do you just have to say that maybe you missed your window to get the most that you could out of Helsley, and just say, listen, depending on what's out there and what's possible, just either jump the market and try to make something sooner than later, as opposed to waiting it all the way through, the 31st?
Well, because teams get more desperate as the clock is about to sound on the trade deadline. So there is, it's risky, but there is some logic into holding on to a guy thinking the team's going to get desperate as it gets closer to the deadline. Like Mo said pretty much that he thinks the deals are going to start happening sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
But there is an advantage in holding on to a commodity that teams might want. But then, of course, you could end up getting burned.
What's Helsley's contract situation like?
This is it. This is the end of the year.
What do you think? What's he going to have to sign for if somebody wants to sign him?
Yeah, see, I don't know. Because the closer market is so fickle. When you look at the top of the market, I think Edwin Diaz's deal is still the biggest one. Rock, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think that the Edwin Diaz deal from 2 years ago or so is still the biggest one that's out there. He's not going to get in that neighborhood. I think that he still was with his resume and recent success. And his stuff is still good. Sometimes you get in the years where you have bad luck with your fastball. You have bad luck with balls in play. His stuff doesn't look bad. His fastball is just getting hammered. You can't be a closer that's in that situation. What you got, Rock?
So Edwin Diaz averages out to 20.4. Josh Hader's at 19. Tanner Scott's at 18. And then it drops down to Ryan Presley at 15. Raciel Iglesias of the Braves at 14.5. Kirby Yates of the Dodgers at 13.
So, I think that sometimes it also depends on who's interested in you, too. Like when you look at Tanner Scott, the Dodgers got involved. They're like, we just want him. Here's you go. Good pitcher, but third highest paid closer in baseball, good pitcher. Don't know about that. But, I think that Helsley would do fine for himself on the open market. At the end of the day, again, it just comes away with who needs what and who's desperate and who's got to get involved in trying to get the one-upsmanship.
And who you're going to get. That's
exactly
the whole thing. It all depends on the return. And we don't know, because the market really hasn't developed yet. We don't know what teams are willing to part with.
Right. And you also right now you have a lot of dynamics in the standings that are going on right now.
Like what do you got, Matty? What do you got?
Well, you've got the Blue Jays who are red hot. You've got the Brewers who are just unconscious right now.
Crushing teams.
They're just going absolutely crazy. But then you've got teams that are going to look and you say, hey, are they going to try to build themselves for the playoffs? I look at Detroit. Detroit has got a lot of young guys, but they're 10 games up in the Central right now. But I'm always wary of first-time playoff teams. They got there, but if you're really going to make a run and you're really going to get deep in that thing and you want to beat some of these more experienced team with a younger roster, hey, get out there and are you going to add? We always have a tendency to look at who doesn't have as opposed to who wants to get better. And there may be a team that you look at and they say, look, we got a closer, but putting Helsley out there in the 8th in front of that, that really locks it in. So, you never know who might get involved. But to Cat's point, It really just depends on how it starts shaping up. And I think it all depends on if the Cardinals are in position to wait to make that move or if they want to be the one that makes sure that they make it so that they don't get fallen behind. And everybody that could be interested is like, we got our guy now.
Not trading. Go ahead.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, baby.
I think I should have just sent my audio file to Rockio. Should I have done that so we had Mo sound? Is there not Mo sound available?
Yeah, if you can email it to me, I can cut it up.
Well, I mean, if we're not using it on the show, I don't. But anyway,
I'll use it on the show.
All right. I could just read his quote because I have it right here because I transcribed it, and I think this is the most telling quote. I think I saw Denton ran this too. It was a scrum. It wasn't my interview, but he said, obviously, we wanted to come out of the break with a positive start to it. And this is before last night's game. We didn't. So as we reflect on what's best for the organization, there is the longer view. We need to make decisions that will benefit the club 26 and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's him pretty much forecasting that the die may have already been cast.
I think the job here for Mo, and I think that that's the right outlook, in my opinion. Again, I maintain that the Cardinals making a playoff push, if they get into it, if they grab one of those wild card spots, great. That's the cherry on top of the sundae if it happens. But the sundae really needs to be making sure that you Sunday. Is this like Audi?
It's Audi.
Okay, cool. It's one of the two things that you got to look at and say, you came into the year, you did absolutely very little, let's say, and put it as nicely as you can last winter. You might have added a trade chip in Matan, who ends up being something that helps you out here. But at the end of the day, you came in this year saying that you were going to rebuild and that you were going to restock this roster and get in a position to compete long term. Pivoting away from that just because you're having some success right now, when you look at the makeup of this roster, which is a build, not an add to, no, not going for it. Take this opportunity to stay on track. It doesn't mean that you won't get an opportunity to still push for the playoffs, but keep the main thing, and make sure that you get the most out of this so that 26 and 27 and beyond, you got something to show for what you didn't do this past offseason and the times you're going through with the perception of the roster right now.
Who else
were you saying that, Matty, when things were going great? Or did the 3 games in Arizona help formulate that? Because to me, there were times this season you're like, these guys might be able, to do some in the postseason should they get there, add something. But then we've seen, since July started, they've been really, really bad.
Yeah.
And did that change your opinion?
No, for me, I've been pretty locked in on it because, I just think that for the last couple of years, and we've talked this through ad nauseum over the years here, is that it seemed like they were in neutral. I personally was encouraged when they said that they're going to take this approach going into last offseason and going into this year. And I've stayed the course with that. I just don't want I would prefer to say that, hey, listen, you're having progress here and this looks good. Let's stock up with what you can. Honestly, I wish they were in a position to make more moves, but I just don't think that a move on Arenado or any other ones.
I was going to say, who else has trade?
I think it all comes out the pitching staff. I just don't see there being an option. This weekend wasn't a great showing. And I even think that before the break and some of the time before that wasn't it. I'm more inclined to believe that some of these ebbs and flows are who this team actually should be. And that, again, I don't say blow it all up, take it all apart, but just make the smart moves that you can. And if you make the playoffs, great. But if you don't, come away with something to show for the year. You can't just go through this, not make the playoffs, keep all these same guys on the roster.
Yeah, that's people are going to be pissed about that. Yeah,
that's a disaster if you do that.
But here's the thing. These guys have some of the guys that would get something in return have no trade, right? So Nolan shot down the deal.
Right.
Mo basically said he doesn't know if anything has changed, but should someone offer something for him, he'll circle back. But Sonny doesn't want to go anywhere. Wilson doesn't want to go anywhere. And those are guys who could really bring something in return.
Absolutely. And I think that, again, some of those guys can also be part of the solution if you say you're going to compete next year. Now, the thing I will say is that this shouldn't be a rebuild that, like you're talking about 2026, we're still looking at 27 and things like that. I think that what this year has proven so far is that you have the ability to get competitive a lot quicker than you may have before. So with knowing there's going to be a change in direction as far as roster management organization with Mo moving out and Bloom coming in, is that what needs to happen right now for Mo and for, I don't want to say for his legacy, but just for what he does have left to offer is get what you can to set Bloom up to be as successful as he can be. And I think that anytime you've got bullpen arms, especially rental bullpen arms, if you can get those off and bring something back, you partner with him on what that needs to look like and how you want to set the system up with some of the moves that are here, that's the best outcome.
What are you looking for coming back, Matty? Or just doesn't matter? Just like load up on young talent.
Yeah, just keep stocking out the organization. I mean, I think that
where though? What position?
Well, they've shown recently at the top of the draft, at least, that they're looking to get guys that can get here quick. Weatherholt blazing through the system. The hope is that Doyle can do that too. You've looked for some reinforcements in some of those early rounds. Like, get some more guys that can come in and at least get to that middle part of the system so that they can be a part of the rebuild. I don't want to necessarily say get a lot of guys that are down in Palm Beach and are down in Peoria. Like, if you can get a double-A guy that you can see that's got the rocket on his back and can get up here, fine. I'm personally okay with some of the moves that they made a few years ago when they shot Flaherty out, when Montgomery went out. They got a lot of arms back. Some of them panned out. Some of them haven't. You've had some injuries there. But that was the right mentality to me to get in there. And ideally, I'd love to see some bats come in, some people that might profile
a big boy
and some outfielders and things can do that. I don't know how big you're going to get them, but I mean, get something that can be a part of the plan in the short term.
Can I say something here? What I'd like to see the Cardinals do is get a right-handed bat that people want to come and watch. Now, that's a pipe dream, okay? But we can talk about flipping a reliever and getting a guy who might be good in Double-A and could get here. We've seen a lot of that, and most of it doesn't pan out. I want to see a player as they build for the future. I'm not saying that's going to happen now or when it's going to happen, but wouldn't you like to see them bring in a guy? Like, remember the excitement when they got Goldschmidt and they got Arenado, right? I mean, we haven't had that in a little while because, Goldie didn't have a great year. Now he's gone. Arenado hasn't been himself that he was earlier in his career. I think that would excite the fan base and make everybody happy.
So who's out there?
Well, I mean, and that's the thing, Kat. I 100% agree with that. But I also think about where the team was at as just the big picture of where it's at when you brought both of those guys in, and even go back even further when you brought Ozuna in. It was about bringing in pieces that were supposed to push them to the next level and to push them towards those playoff runs and getting to that point. My concern is right now is that if they go and do that, number one, it could be good. I think it's indisputable to say that if you bring somebody into this team right now that gets the fan base excited, that matters. You need to think about that because you need more than
where they at
25,000.
And who are you thinking about?
Unless you're going to bring the bananas in every series.
That's what I was saying. I want the guy with the stilts.
But I think that there's two steps to this, right? I would love to see that be the approach this offseason, to go out there and try to get active and to show that big investment in the team and get after it. But I think beforehand, you've got to clear out the refrigerator a little bit. And they've got some things in there that are all right, some leftovers that are good. Clear that out.
Leftovers.
Make a plate. Make a good plate. After you have it this time, it's gone. It's over. And
the third day, it's like,
when you get to this off season, though, come out with that mentality. So, Kat, I think both of us can have what we want. I don't see that happening here at the deadline, but I think that definitely should be where the mentality is at by the time that you get to the winter.
If you look at their offense right now, right, you got guys. You talk about leftovers. Like I think you want Donovan back because he's been great. I think Burleson you hang on to. I think he's just scratching the surface. Wilson has been very good offensively. You have pieces in there. If you added like a big bat in there, you can turn things around offensively because let's be honest about the offense. It's been really hit or miss, and lately it's been more miss than hit. I think you don't need to, like you said, a total rebuild, but you do need some big pieces in there to change the landscape. And I do think as the Cardinals look to 26 and beyond, as Mo said, you got to take into account the fan base. They want to see something better.
So what Wilson has, 13 home runs?
Yeah,
and he's leading the team? What is that comparable to every other team in the league?
Like, who's the leading home run guy
It's
on
not
each
good.
roster?
It's not
No,
good, is it?
No,
not good.
that's not. That's not. Not in the game where they said this is the first season in ever, maybe, or in a very long time where there's no teams in baseball that are hitting 260 as a group.
Yeah.
That means that they're hitting bombs if they're not hitting 260 and they're scoring runs. So the Cardinals certainly aren't there on that side.
I got bad news for all you Cardinals fans. Doyle's going to be a closer, not a starter. 314.
Take a closer. Cool. Whatever. Let's see him pitch a pro game before we make a call on what he's going to be.
I'm just glad we have a MLB scout texting in anonymously to the show. That's
Oh,
I like
really?
that. That's awesome.
That's sweet.
Oh, that's
why not?
nice. We got all kinds of people listening. We got scouts, GMs.
We're the whole city is, baby. Kat, let me ask you this though: when you talk about bringing somebody in that's got space and looking at what needs to happen there in that point, who's playing for their future in the everyday lineup right now? Who's out there with these last? We're talking a lot about pitching. We're looking at that, but with this, 2 months and basically 2 weeks left in the year, who's out there that's playing for their future? That if it doesn't work out and they don't turn the corner, that they need to that the Cardinals need to target that space as somewhere to upgrade this offseason.
So, I mean, you have guys like Gorman, who I think are, he's hurt right now with his back situation. Got an injection yesterday. I was told they don't want to do anything with Walker because right now, for a guy who has the upside he has, the value isn't there unless some team wants him. But I would say most guys on the roster, I'm not going to single out any guy because Mo said he's going to listen to everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, since the market really hasn't taken off yet, we don't really know exactly what teams are interested in.
I mean, for me, when I look at it, without singling out anybody, in fairness, is that I look at both the long-term situation around catcher, and I look at the long-term situation around at least one of the outfield spots. Because, I mean, I just think that it's just been in flux. Burleson has proven himself that I think that he, to your point, I mean, there's more to go there. He's
How's
a
he
solid,
doing?
he's a solid bat. I mean, he's barreling it up.
He took one off the toe yesterday.
Yeah, that he's not having a great one.
X-rays were negative on Burleson, but he's banged up, so it's going to be a few.
Yeah, I mean, and that just adds to the fact that you've got Newbar that's out. I mean, you're just getting Walker back, even though he had a good night last night.
Why do people say trade Newbar? Rocky, you made a good point the other day. He makes $3 million. You could have like 3 or 4 of those guys on their team, right, Rock?
Well, I think the problem is that they do have 3 or 4 of those guys on their team right now.
Yeah, I mean, you need big bats, but like if you had a guy who was hitting 25 home runs at the break, you'd be completely fine with having 2 guys batting in the 8-9 holes who are 107 OPS plus guys who are only making $3 million. Like that's not a bad way to build a roster, and so he's valuable in a sense. It's just that I think people expect more from him because there aren't any other big boppers, and so they say, well, why can't Lars Newbar be what we thought he was going to be? And
that's what
what
Wombat chimed in and said. He goes, Simp, you want a big bat? How about Walker? Oh, never mind. How about Gorman? Oh, wait, never mind. Develop your own damn talent. Tired of it, Wombat.
I think we got a great comment right here on the screen right here from Colton. Colton says, problem is that we've got nobody to build around right now at the MLB level. If JJ comes up and is what we think he is, then that gives us a guy. But we can't build an entire team in free agency. And I think that if you follow the Cardinals, for sure they're not going to go in there and say, all right, let's rebuild the whole thing now and get out of there. But, I mean, they do have some difficult situations to navigate. I like the idea of bringing up Weatherhold. I'd like to see a little bit of them here. Sometimes guys that are going to be great down the road stumble a little bit out the blocks. But if you think he's somebody that you can build around, I mean, you saw that Mason Wynn came up, went through his time, got his first full year last year, and then really got locked in. I mean, if you up the middle, you think Wynn and Weatherholt can be your guys long term. I think Brendan Donovan's future, which I do think is here, I think they got to address that this offseason too and get that together. Is it continuing to bounce around, where needed? Is it being a part of the solution at third base? You still got Arenado that's in there. Like, I know that Ali said that he wants to get him settled in one spot and have him just be there consistently, but I don't think that both what's coming and what's here right now allows that to be. Like, Kat, what's your read on just kind of some of the interchangeability of some of these pieces?
Matt, it's Cole here.
Yep.
Thank you. I love that. I would like to see Donnie get one position and stay there, but again, when you don't know what your roster is going to be, it's very difficult to achieve that. They got to get rid of some of the redundancy and try to settle in. And, like a guy like Newpar, for example, he's hurt again. You say, why hasn't he flourished the way a lot of people thought he would? Been hurt a lot, gets hurt all the time.
Yeah.
Another guy like Herrera, hurt a lot. Now, Herrera told me he wants to end up as a catcher, even though he's been working in the outfield, and said in Panama he was an outfielder. It's been, 8-9 years for him, but he'd be comfortable there. There's so many pieces that are in flux right now that you just don't know how it's going to shake out. And that's why it's imperative that, that they do the right thing before the trade deadline here and try to settle in for Heim Bloom, right? I mean, that there's a lot of questions that have to be answered.
Rooster chimes in. He goes, Rock sounds like baseball Bob. Can't have an opinion if you aren't a scout, ?
No, I just think that you should probably maybe allow for some wiggle in your opinion that doesn't go. I know every other person who's professional in this in this job thinks that Liam Doyle is going to be a starter. But me personally, I have special skills that no one's paying me for, and I think I see something no one else does. And listen,
I've got special skills. I don't
Matty, stop it. Other legal decisions were made because of those special skills we can all nod our head at. And that's all I'm saying. It was the definitiveness of good job. They blew this pick by getting this guy who 100% cannot be a starting pitcher. Okay.
You're also, Rock, you were triggered by the way Cam reads the text aggressively. And it makes you, sometimes it could change the meaning. So take that into account.
No,
No,
Rooster, no.
That was 100%.
That's
he
Rooster,
got the tone
baby.
of that text 100%
That's Rooster.
correct.
Oh, yeah. No, Jim's right, though.
So, no, you're right. So you don't get an opinion either, Cat.
You're wrong. You ain't no scout. Not trading Halsey and Maton could be a complete.
Maton,
Maton.
It's Maton.
Damn it.
Thanks, Randy.
Would be a complete failure by the front office and a disservice to the future of this organization. That's Colton.
Ring the bell.
That's Colton right there. Ring that bell. There it is.
I tell you what, he threw some filth last night. He was spinning that thing up there.
Yeah, he's a monster.
I mean,
See a big boy?
God, the strikeout pitch that he threw last night was a give up at bat by that guy. He was just like, get me out of here before he throws something else at me. He looked like he was pitching wiffle ball out there.
Yeah, if I'm a fan of another team and I'm like a sicko who's watching every other team in baseball and I'm thinking we need some relief pitching, I'm texting into my local radio show like, how do we get this Matone guy?
Whoa! Get him, Jimmy.
I was a fan in a different town at that point, so I was screwing up the name because I wasn't that aware of it. I was playing into that.
He's a guy that has pitched with a chip on his shoulder the whole time because he had to take a bad deal with the Cardinals because there were no other suitors, and that has ticked him off. He's really good.
I like the revenge tour. Keep it going. Get out there, baby.
I'm afraid the realistic view is the Cardinals aren't going to be much better next year without a big-time addition. Unlike 2023, the Cards don't have great trade pieces other than Helsley this year. Danny Boy, what's up, baby?
I think that the Cardinals are a lot more than one step away. So I think that if you're going to do anything and you're going to spend, and we assume that's going to be the case, that I think you're going to have to amplify it with trades for sure. But
they're gonna.
Yeah, you're just going to have to. But, I mean, I think that the thing that you're going to have to look at is that how many things do you have to address and how can you do it? And that brings me back to this year and why I wanted them to say, listen, if you're going to take this season and you're going to look and see what you've got, what you should be doing during a rebuild, is make room for it to happen. Like, I think that you've given an opportunity to Liberatore, and he's shown that there's probably closer to what you thought you were getting when you made that deal there. Maybe not the top end, the guy that he was advertised as coming over, but he's shown that he's got something there and can be a part of the plan. Like, how do you get more exposure and more opportunity like that here through?
I want to see JJ.
Yeah, well, I think you see JJ this year. I think you see Quinn Matthews at some point this year. You're seeing McGreevy. I think just make room for it as best as you can. And these no trade clauses and things can complicate some of those things. But
Matthews just had a bad outing and his velocity is down. That's the problem when you're dealing sometimes with young pitchers. It takes them time to get to where they need to be to make a difference at the big league level. Not saying he won't, but it's seldom a direct path. Okay, we drafted him. He's really good.
Yeah.
Here he is, especially with pitchers.
Which is what I would urge, just the kind of caution I would urge with the highway debuts for like Liam Doyle. You don't know. You don't know what it's going to look like. The stuff is there. It looks great. But, I mean, there's very few guys that, like, when you look at just hit the ground, started running, and they never step back. I mean, look at Zach Wheeler in Philadelphia, right? He's one of the best pitchers in baseball and has been for a while. It did not happen. It did not happen right away. He had to go through some of the bumps and get there, and you've got to figure out what that looks like. But if they don't get the chance to do it, completely receive the point about Matthews. I think that especially with young arms, as the year goes on, those guys might get tired. They might start hitting some walls. What you don't want to do is pitch them into injury, and then you've got yet another guy that's out of the mix. But you have to find a way with the ones that are healthy and the ones that are showing to see what they've got at the major league level. Just don't go into next year with a bunch of 4A guys that you're hoping can do it because you haven't had an opportunity to see what's there.
Take a look at, at Liberatore, right? This guy came with a pedigree that everyone thought this guy was going to be at the big league level as a starter quickly and would impress. And it took him a while to get to this point.
Yep.
Had to start in the bullpen, find it there. And now they got to pull him out of the rotation for a start or two just to make sure that the innings are manageable and that he's fine going forward beyond this season.
The Cat defends every suck-ass player on this awful team.
Uh-oh.
I did not say that.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I read that.
Charlie's right.
Now I feel like I'm going to say something racial.
Oh, well.
Charlie.
I've never swam with Matt Whitener.
You beat.
Oh, wait.
Wrong day.
It's a wrong. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The black community is mourning a key loss.
And I told you,
And you do that to Charlie?
the scariest damn
You do that
thing.
to Charlie?
Wow. Read the room, Charlie. Holy cow. Jimmy, you know what we're talking about? Jimmy?
I think he bailed.
Did he bail on us? He's disgusted.
Yeah, Jimmy's feelings are hurt.
Whoa.
Man. How'd you do that?
Wow. Okay, let's go to break anyway. We'll reconnect him. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. This is Hot Take Central 2.0.
In your city with Kelly and Gordon. It's the hottest happy hour in STL radio. A high-energy, high-impact weekday radio show blending relationship values, celebrity buzz, community love, and sharp business insight. This is where storytelling meets strategy. It's the pulse of the city, bringing the energy, stories, and voices of STL to life. In your city with Kelly and Gordon. Weekday afternoons at 4, only on the Lou Information Station.
Ozzie Smith ready for the flip, and we're ready to start the season. Here we go.
This is Cardinal Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith, and I'm flipping with excitement over the giveaway on Thursday, July 24th. That night, 20,000 fans 16 and older will take home the first ever legendary backflip bobblehead, featuring me, courtesy of Phillips 66. Don't miss the flipping awesome giveaway. We can't wait to see you on Thursday, July 24th. Secure your tickets and learn more at cardinals.com/promotions.
Hats off to family fun on Sunday, July 27th, when the Birds host the Padres. That day, 20,000 fans, 16 and older, will get a City Connect throw pad courtesy of Quick Trip. And thanks to Haichu, 10,000 kids ages 15 and under will take home a Cardinals hat with custom charms. Upgrade your and your kiddos' game gear. Snag your tickets today at cardinals.com/promotion.
This is Alec Burleson, St. Louis Cardinals, for the Lou.
LouInfo.com news headlines brought to you by Brown and Crouppen. GetBC.com.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. A Ferguson woman is facing charges after Chesterfield police say she and two others pulled off a high-dollar theft at the St. Louis Premium Outlets and then led officers on a high-speed chase. Employees estimate a group of three stole more than $7,700 worth of clothing. So far, the woman from Ferguson is the only one charged in the case. St. Louis homicide detectives are investigating a stabbing after a person was found dead in the 5600 block of Chamberlain Avenue. No arrests yet. New rules are coming to the St. Charles County libraries for challenging books. Beginning August 1st, library staff will review complaints first. If appealed, 6 of 9 board members must agree to remove a book and read it themselves. The move follows 11 book ban requests since last fall. An extreme heat warning continues today for St. Louis and surrounding towns. Heat index values up to 110 degrees are expected. The warning continues through 7 p.m. on Wednesday. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. I'm Jen Austin.
Now, louinfo.com weather. Presented by STL Sports Central. St. Louis sports. Anytime, anywhere.
Here's your louinfo.com weather update. The extreme heat warning continues today. We'll be getting sunshine, afternoon high air temperature in the mid-90s, but that heat index right around 105. We do have a slim chance of a shower. Overnight, a few clouds, upper 70s, more heat and humidity coming up on Wednesday. Sunny, and we're in the upper 90s. Heat index about 110 tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City, 314-344-4400.
Join your fellow St. Louis City SC fans at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. All St. Louis area Hot Shots locations are proud to be a part of City on Tap, presented by Michelob Ultra, the official network bringing St. Louis City fans and ice cold beer together. Catch every exciting moment of the 2025 MLS season at Hot Shots. Since 1990, Hot Shots has championed St. Louis sports, and they're thrilled to keep the tradition alive for St. Louis City SC. Find the Hot Shots near you at hotshotsnet.com.
The future of driving is here, and it's electric. Introducing the all-new Audi Q6 e-tron, where luxury meets cutting-edge performance. And now, at Audi Kirkwood, drive one home with 2.99% financing for 72 months. Efficiency, power, and style, all in one extraordinary SUV. Visit Audi Kirkwood on Manchester Road or online at audikirkwood.com.
Back to more of Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jansen and Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
These two men here, are they with you?
On the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Yeah, baby. 8:42. Let's go. Hot Take Central 2.0. Cam Jansen, Jimmy the Cat Hayes, live from Colorado. Matty Whitener, Matthew Rocchio, doing our thing. You guys could.
Do you guys have me still?
Yeah. There you go. Hey, buddy.
We lost you.
We thought you got.
That was a tease, and then I lost you guys. I want to know what you're talking about.
I thought you got so upset that Rocchio made the drop around not swimming with me.
Play it again, Rock.
right after Theo Huxtable.
I've never swam with Matt Whitener.
Theo Huxtable left
has.
us yesterday, and Cam's here with the weather report.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah. Well, what happened with Theo?
Theo was down in Puerto Rico, I believe, and the rip current got him.
Yeah.
Sucked him right out, and he died. Horrible. He's supposed to be like one of the good guys, you know.
An 80s icon.
He's got jacked afterwards, too.
Yeah.
On that Cosby show, I wonder what kind of stories he's got to tell.
Well, I don't think we're going to hear him.
Oh, Maddie, you're right. Oh, man.
I hope he wrote a book.
Man. You know?
Apparently he's really good at other things. Like, you know, someone said he did music. He did a bunch of other things outside of that show. He's got a little jack, had a family. It's really sad. Now, my shooter here in Colorado is a surfer guy, and he told me he was on vacation with his family, and he was out swimming. I forget what country it was, but obviously ocean area. And he's out swimming, and he said he realized he's out far, and then he said he couldn't get back in. And he's been trained how to fight a riptide. You don't fight against it. You go on your back, and you try to go sideways through it. He said they had to rescue him. And this is a guy who's like an elite level swimmer. Those things are dangerous.
That's why you asked, like, what's the most dangerous thing about the ocean? It's that.
The fact that it exists.
It's the scariest damn thing. I'm nervous about it, man. I know you are, but I mean, I can go to a lake and be okay.
You know what?
With a boat. But
it doesn't.
Not you know.
It doesn't really make me nervous because I've opted out completely.
But that sucks, though.
You're missing out. Though,
Thank
Matty.
you, Jimmy.
Sitting by the beach is beautiful. And here's another danger. You're at the Jersey Shore, and you're enjoying great pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And here comes one of them seagulls out of the sky, grabs your pizza. That's an unseen danger.
I was in Hawaii about a month and a half ago or so, and the ocean was right there. Looked fantastic. I had half a bottle of wine up by the street and watched everybody have fun down there. Good enough for me. Because you know what?
What if
I was having fun where I was at, and they were having fun doing this.
Did you ever just dip your toe in there?
No, absolutely not.
No. Okay. All right.
Wait, what about sitting at the beach right by in the chair, safely removed from the water?
That's what you could probably call this. I didn't go all the way down because the chairs cost like $20.
You'll get that rogue wave that come in. You ever see those videos? It's just a beautiful day. The waves are normal, and then all of a sudden a big one comes and gets you and sucks you right out.
See, and there we get back to where we started at.
You can't be by it.
I have been in an ocean before, once. And then immediately Cam hopped up on my shoulder like, get your ass out of there, boy.
Can I get a genuine response from you? Me and some friends are going into Middle Missouri to do a float trip. Matty, do you want to come?
Be careful. First of all, I don't want to go to Middle Missouri. So let's just get this done. Let's take care of every part of that. I don't want to go to the middle of Missouri.
Oh, really? Why not?
Outside of Mizzou.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to go on a float trip for sure.
Are you sure?
No.
And I definitely don't want to be at this beginning of Friday the 13th situation that you put me in right here.
I'm not even going to go on that float trip.
I'm busy.
I'm not doing it. I told you what happened with Andy and his family with those Hoosiers out there cackling.
He just invited me to Deliverance.
Andy has like two 14-year-old girls, little Chloe, and this is him and his brother-in-law and the wives and the girls. And these Hoosiers were just screaming at him, take off your top. And Andy's like, she's 14. I don't give a damn. And kind of ran over and scared, I go, get out of there.
That is like a match made in heaven if we've ever seen one.
That's COVID Andy talking to John Hadley. Says yes to everything.
Kat, where are you at on Jesus?
Wait, can I just say this? Rocchio on a float trip reminds me of Ned Beatty in Waiting.
Oh no. My God.
That was actually the
Jimmy,
question.
That is the most hardcore visual I just got in my life, and I didn't like it. I didn't like that.
So we don't have any Deliverance drops.
Yeah.
Do I know what he's talking about?
Did you see that movie, though?
Yeah, I saw it. Squeal like a pig, boy.
Scary. The mountain boys up there.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Did you ever see that movie, Deliverance?
Oh.
Yes, Deliverance terrifies the living daylights out of me. I hate that movie. Whoa.
Hate
that movie.
What's the
You're
scary?
going to live it, boy.
No! Stop it, Jimmy. Stop it.
Keep that one forever.
Stop it.
What's the scariest movie that maybe was either intentionally or not intentionally scary that you feel like you could actually be a part of?
It's Deliverance for me.
Deliverance has got to be up there.
The opening scenes of Kill Bill 2.
You know what it is for me?
I hate Buried Alive.
Kat, you'll appreciate this. Misery.
Oh, yeah.
You never know who you'll meet.
That was Kathy Bates.
When she put that wood block between Jimmy Kahn's foot.
Yeah,
The Natural. Yeah. I'm always afraid that some random woman's going to be, are you going to be the best that there ever was?
Bam, pop one off right in my gut.
Did he change the ending of a book and she didn't like it and she kidnapped him after a car accident?
Man,
Is that how that
went? It's been
went?
a while since I saw it.
He's like a writer.
No, so she was a fan that had kind of like an empty life except for this guy's books. And she kidnapped him just so he'd be part of her life. And he was going to kill off her favorite character. So that's when she hobbled him, which means she put a block of wood down by his ankles and then took a hammer and broke both his ankles.
Yeah. And the way they showed it was just so disturbing. It showed the foot actually twist in half, basically. It's crazy.
She was a good, crazy person. You know what the movie scared me, though? Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, if all that happens, yeah.
That's still like, if you're even like a young kid that's kind of out of touch with 90s stuff like that's timeless movie. That's going to scare you.
So I've seen a bunch of lists of who's the greatest movie villain of all time. And Hannibal Lecter, I mean,
Anthony
is up there.
Hopkins gets he gets top 3 in the best performances of a character in any movie ever, any genre. People will put him top 3 in just straight movie performances of all time.
He's one of the great actors
as Hannibal
ever.
Lecter. So it's not just horror movies or thrill movies. It's or villains. It's that performance as Hannibal Lecter.
Well,
is
and the thing about
S tier.
And the thing about Hannibal Lecter is that He's barely in the thing.
Exactly. That's
but
the thing that blows your mind.
But the impact that he
let's
makes
actually
is
look it up.
crazy.
He did kill a couple guys.
I think the villain that was in the movie, the littlest, that was the fewest times by minutes in the movie that was in that top 5 was, I think they said Darth Vader was in Star Wars for like 10 minutes total.
Anthony Hopkins as Dr. Hannibal Lecter is in Silence of the Lambs for 16 minutes on screen.
Yeah. So, I
you
mean,
remember the line when he said, "Ready when you are, Sergeant Pembry," and then he went in that cage and then gutted the guy.
Bit his
Put
nose
him on display.
Bit his nose off, and then gutted him and spread him out and hung him up. Whoa, baby! He must be pretty strong.
Apparently, there are another 8 minutes where he is heard or visually present. The 16 minutes are when he's speaking.
Yeah,
So it's
on
about
the
20,
phone.
about 24 minutes and 52 seconds if you count anytime he's in the background of a scene or talking in a scene.
Okay, here's the total amount of time through 3 movies for the impact that he's had. Whether you like the movies or not, you know the character. Darth Vader was in the first 3 Star Wars for a total of 36 minutes.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And apparently,
what an easy gig.
Apparently, though, for actual talking lines of 16 minutes, it is the shortest ever screen time for a Best Actor win.
Oh yeah, for sure. Who's your villain, Cam? Who's your top?
My villain that got me the most as a kid would be Pennywise the freaking clown.
Ugh.
That God, it got me.
Ugh.
Then I read the book.
Oh, sorry.
Imagine being on vacation.
No,
and
Pennywise shows up.
I'm trying to find the Oscars for the least amount of screen time. And the movie Network in 1977. I wouldn't know that, but Jimmy, do you know this one?
Yeah, great movie.
Beatrice Straight won an Oscar for 5 minutes and 40 seconds of screen time. I guess as supporting actress. Judi Dench in Shakespeare in Love. Alan Arkin in Little Miss Sunshine was on screen for 14 minutes. This is actually this is a crazy good list.
Can I tell you? I don't know if you won an award, and I know we don't love some of the things he's said over the years, but Alec Baldwin and Glenn Ross put the coffee down. Like, he was in that movie for like 6 minutes and stole the whole thing. He was great.
I mean, as much as you talk about that movie, I have to watch it now.
Less than
I have to.
Less than 8 minutes.
I got to get into that.
No. I mean, and people, the lines that he said in that, people still parrot because he was so powerful.
That's why one of the crazy 30 Rock has incredible moments. But the thing is, people don't talk about enough is that randomly in the middle of the 30 Rock episode, they have while in the storyline is that Alec Baldwin's character's girlfriend has been kidnapped by Kim Jong-un. And randomly in the end of an episode, they have a scene where Tracy Morgan as Tracy Jordan plays out the Glengarry Glen Ross scene with the actor who plays Kim Jong-un on the 30 Rock show. And Kim Jong-un's screaming "You're not weak, the leads are weak." It's like you're not your leads aren't weak, you're weak. And it's Tracy Jordan doing the salesman part, and it's Kim Jong-un's impersonator doing the Alec Baldwin part. And it's one of the most meta things 30 Rock ever does. And I never
got into it.
30 Rock's hilarious.
I love Tracy Morgan.
I can't watch Glengarry Glen Ross with a straight face anymore. It's completely ruined it.
Good thing for the North Koreans, Kim Jong-un's putting in a nice, huge water park.
Yeah,
and a ski resort.
That resort's going to do numbers,
really,
isn't it?
Yeah, they're attracting a lot of people.
They've got a minor league agreement with Russia that send people down there for it.
They build these things, and there's like pictures of nobody around anywhere.
So do you think Do you think that enhances their odds of getting an Olympics soon?
Imagine that. You imagine that. You imagine how many people would be arrested just for the most petty things possible, taking something off a wall or moving something or folding a piece of paper of Kim Jong-un. Crazy. Speaking of Tracy Morgan, dude, he got into a nasty car accident. He was in a.
He's okay though.
Yeah, well, he was rocked. He got rocked. Yeah. And it was a Walmart truck.
Yeah, he got hit by a Walmart truck.
And he sued.
Got a bunch of money.
Bunch of money. He is so damn funny on Howard Stern. When Stern was cool, he had Tracy Morgan on there all the time.
That's why you should watch 30 Rock.
I should.
Alec Baldwin is one of the best comedic characters in the history of television in that show. Tracy Morgan is hilarious. He's just playing like a caricature of himself.
Mm-hmm.
And the comedy writers on that show are just absolute heavy hitters. Donald Glover, before he became who everyone knows as Donald Glover, was one of the main writers on 30 Rock.
Really?
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah, they had how many years? What, 10?
It's crazy, yes, because the show starts at the end of the Bush administration, and they're making at the end of the show they're making like Romney Obama jokes. So it's like
oh really?
It hits everything of
how's Alec Baldwin doing?
This is all 10 years.
There's a great call from Ellipsis 150.
How do you pronounce his last name?
Sugar.
Okay.
Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men.
Badass.
Oh, that movie's intense.
Really intense.
Intense.
It was
Pretty
awesome. Yeah, I liked
the villain in Seven.
Oh, well, yeah. What's his name?
Spader.
Yeah. Oof.
Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
There
Nest.
you go.
She was one, too. Underrated.
There you go. There's not really a villain per se in The Shining, but I mean, when you talk about how everything went off the rails, I mean, that's one of those great movies that just uses people to be whatever they need to be.
The woman in the bathtub.
The guy with the bunny.
Yeah, weird.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
Weird things going on.
Are you saying Jack Nicholson wasn't a villain? He was trying to kill his wife.
That's right, Matty.
Well,
you can't do that.
I think that
you can't kill your wife.
I think the spirit that possessed him was the villain, and you never saw
I am
it.
so confused right now.
Speaking of villain,
he got made to be the villain.
Assuming makes an ass out of you and me.
Is that dang right in the drop?
I don't know.
Assuming makes an ass out of you and me.
He didn't even finish his. He didn't even finish his point, and I said, "Dang right."
That makes it so much better.
Cat, that's my position on Jack Torrance. He was a tool. He was a tool of the devil.
He was a great guy. He was a great guy.
No, he wasn't, and I think it was in him. It was in him waiting to come out. It just needed a place to come out.
Listen, I didn't bang my bell at mom.
Like Michael Corleone.
Wait. Speaking of The Shining, real quick, the part I hated about The Shining, do you know what it was? That guy, black guy, that was communicating.
Cut it off.
Stop. He did all this good, hard work to go all the way up there, to save the day. They had him in the storyline the whole time. Yeah. And right when he walks in, Jack Nicholson comes out of nowhere and goes, "What?" and kills him. I didn't like that. That almost ruined the movie for me.
We only got one more minute, but I just got a text message from the awesome one, Earl Austin, who's listening in, and he says, Boo Radley, To Kill a Mockingbird, hero who came in at the end of the movie, you think he's a villain the entire time.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a fantastic. Boo Radley's a fantastic call, an incredible movie.
Great
That's
movie.
true.
Atticus Finch.
Atticus Finch, baby. God, that book was fantastic.
It was really, really
That's
good.
one of the few books I actually enjoyed reading when I was a kid. Like
when they made you do it.
They made you. It was a huge.
It was fantastic.
It was like the heavy hitter of like our English curriculum in 8th grade. Like it was a big deal, and I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's nice when you enjoy a book.
Mine was Julius Caesar
Like
in that
Stargirl.
time.
Yeah, that's fun.
All right, you how am I doing on time?
You got 15 seconds.
15 seconds. Okay.
Cam doesn't know what to do when we give him exact amounts of time like this.
I'm not good at it.
Like if he has to work with an exact amount of time,
I don't know what to do with my hands.
8.
No,
7.
you can't just count down.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go to break. We got Ed Herman coming next. Hot Take Central 2.0.
You did it.
Let's talk about your health insurance. There are a lot of reasons why people need affordable health insurance. But here's the bottom line. You know you need affordable health insurance. For you, a spouse, a family member, whatever. I'm going to give you a free hotline to call to find affordable health insurance that can cover all your health insurance needs in case you get sick or have an emergency. Plus, cover vision, dental, and more. And there are no long-term commitments. You can keep your plan as long as it's affordable. And for the price of a cup of coffee. We're not talking about one of those fancy coffees. For the price of a regular cup of coffee a day, you can have quality, affordable health insurance. Call the Health Insurance Hotline for a free quote.
800-373-8414. 800-373-8414. 800-373-8414. That's 800-373-8414. All aboard!
There's a new way to travel, and it's one of the oldest forms of transportation. Travel by train. Yes, consider traveling around the United States on Amtrak. Traveling by train is a lot less of a headache than taking a plane, and you'd be surprised how many places you can go on an Amtrak. And there's no passports or IDs needed. Find out how to get where you're going as soon as tomorrow by train. Call the Amtrak Travel Hotline right now. We'll book your trip and email your tickets within minutes. Skip the drive to the airport and skip the lines. Call right now to book your Amtrak reservations. We service most of the United States.
All aboard!
Do something new. Travel by Amtrak today.
800-428-9517. 800-428-9517. 800-428-9517. That's 800-428-9517.
Broadcasting live from the J. Randolph Jr. Studios, this is the Lou Information Station, KLIS 590 AM, Wood River, St. Louis.
USA Radio News, I'm John Summers. The Trump administration released 230,000 documents from the Martin Luther King Jr. assassination files. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard says the documents detail the FBI's investigation into that shooting, discussion of potential leads, information about assassin James Earl Ray's former cellmate, and more. The White House blamed the policies of former President Biden for the shooting of an off-duty Border Patrol officer in New York City. Spokesperson Caroline Leavitt says Biden's immigration policies allowed for the suspect, an illegal alien, to enter the U.S. and roam free.
This tragedy that took place over the weekend at the hands of yet another illegal alien invader who was allowed into our country and released by the Biden administration.
Leavitt said it's cases like these that led to Trump's 2024 victory. The officer was shot in the face, but expected to survive. The father of a 9-year-old Canadian girl found dead in upstate New York is charged with her murder.
New York State Police Captain Robert McConnell says authorities believe 45-year-old Luciana Fratolin was vacationing with his daughter Melina, and they were on their way back to Canada, where the girl's mother lives and has full custody.
The investigation has determined sometime after Melina's phone call with her mother and before Monsieur Fratolin's 911 call, he allegedly murdered Melina and left her body in a remote area where she was later discovered by law enforcement.
I'm Natalie Migliori.
The White House banned the Wall Street Journal from traveling with President Trump during an upcoming trip.
The Wall Street Journal won't be on the president's trip to Scotland, and the announcement comes after the outlet reported on Trump's alleged letter to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Trump has filed a lawsuit against the Journal alleging defamation, and he has denied writing the letter. According to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, the Wall Street Journal or any other news outlet are not guaranteed special access to cover President Trump. I'm Mark Mayfield.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Business owners, are you paying high phone bills for old school systems and lousy service? StrongTel cuts your phone bills in half and turns every phone you own into a feature-rich business system. Sean Roddy, CEO of Hennings Brothers Drilling, had this to say: "We've been a StrongTel customer for over 10 years. It's great. It even includes an intercom with video to our equipment yard. I can watch live from anywhere with my smartphone. I'd recommend StrongTel to anyone. Never miss a customer call again with your StrongTel business system. StrongTel is a proud iTex partner and always welcomes your iTex dollars. You'll get award-winning StrongTel service, a business-class phone system, and cut your phone bill in half. So visit StrongTel.com right now. That's StrongTel, StrongTel.com. StrongTel.
We interrupt this program for an on-the-spot news report.
News reports on the Lou Information Station are presented by Brown and Crouppen. 222-2222.
Who needs a vacation? Are you ready for an unforgettable getaway? Start packing your bags because Branson, Missouri, the vacation and entertainment capital of the U.S., is calling your name. For just $99 per person, here's what you get: a full 3-day, 2-night stay in a luxury resort hotel, a delicious full breakfast buffet every morning you're here, and when you call right now, free show tickets worth up to $100. That's right, free show tickets to an award-winning show on us. You don't have to leave the country for an amazing vacation. You can drive or fly to Branson and have an incredible time. Whether you bring in the whole family or just planning a romantic escape, this trip is built for you. We guarantee you'll love Branson. This is not a timeshare. It's just an unbeatable vacation deal for only $99 per person. You book now, you can use your tickets anytime this year. You don't even need to know your travel dates to lock in the special price. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. Call our Branson vacation experts today.
800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. That's 800-497-7198.
Hey, listen to me. I'm one of the credit cards in your wallet. I'm about to explode and pop like a balloon. You're using me and my brothers way too much.
Your credit cards aren't the only ones annoyed. It's your paycheck that doesn't have enough to pay everything. Save your credit cards, your paycheck, and yourself a lot of PAIN. Pain. Call the debt helpline now, not tomorrow, right now. Our experts will show you how you can cut your interest rates and your payments on your credit cards in half. Credit card companies have special assistance programs designed to help you. Make this 100% free call right now and learn how you could get out of credit card debt. Here's the number.
800-406-6569. 800-406-6569. 800-406-6569. That's 800-406-6569. Paid for by Zero Debt.
The Lou Information Station presents Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jensen and Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
Yeah, baby, let's go. 9:05 on a Tuesday. This is the Lou Information Station live and on demand at louinfo.com. You can call in 855-282-8255. You can text in at 314-590-3770. And we're live on YouTube. Say what's up to everybody. Lou Info on YouTube. Just click it. Subscribe, like. You got Ed Herman. We got Brody. We got Matty Whitener, Cam Jansen, and Matthew Rocchio doing our thing here. What's going on with you guys? How you doing, Ed? How you doing, Brody?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, and I was doing kind of mediocre, but now I'm looking at the back of my head on the YouTube camera, and I'm doing much better because normally there's some pretty pronounced, baldness there, and it's not like I'm not getting total coverage.
Yeah, I couldn't sit there.
You look
honestly,
good, dude. If I did that right now, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Right. I mean, I got to tell you, I'm loving the back of my head.
Good for you, man.
It'll look like the Indian Ocean if I was sitting over there right now.
I mean, whatever else happens the rest of the day, my day is set.
And the back of your neck looks good. See, I got chirped last time because they were messing with it like one of the first days, and they clicked it on, and I was sitting like that, and it was right behind my head. And people were chirping like the rolls and a couple things.
No.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sit over here so you can see my ugly face this way.
You know what? I think that's their preference. And that's a good thing. Yeah, first of all, you don't have an ugly face. Don't negative self-talk.
It could be better. It could be better.
Well, we could all be better.
You know
I mean, I could have a little bit more on the top, but I mean, I'm turning 54 in less than 2 weeks. I never imagined I would have this much hair on my head at 54. My grandfather was a cue ball.
Oh, yeah. See, mine both were, too. That's what got me. My dad still has a pretty good head of hair.
Yeah, so does my dad. Yeah, but he had curly hair. He had one of those thick,
so did he.
Jufros, they call them. Yeah, classic Jufro. But yeah, he still has it. But man, I look, and I'm going really gray here. I'm noticing this. See how vein? Seeing all the gray coming down the sides.
We're all vain. We all care about what other people think of us, even if we don't admit it.
But I'll tell you,
it's so true.
I like to believe am I entering my silver fox phase?
Baby.
Oh, yeah.
The chicks dig it.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting white hairs, not gray hairs. I'm getting white hairs popping up all over the side, and I'm completely fine with it. It's not bothering me.
No, he's fine with it too.
Where are you at? What are you talking about, Rock? Where are they at?
I got white popping up all over
He's fine than a couple.
They're popping up.
But you know what? If they turn gray, those will I always say gray stays. So if it turns, because the hair is either going to turn gray or it's going to vanish completely. This is just my theory. Just to be clear, there's no backing in science to support this.
We don't need that.
No. But I think if it turns gray, you could rely on those. The other ones jump ship completely. You never see them again. They run off with like a stewardess, There you go. Is that like a thing anymore?
He didn't argue in there TT and ran off.
I'll tell you this. Yeah, like people that complain about having gray hair, I'm like, settle down. You're okay. You can fix that if you want to. It's not that big of a deal. You don't have to fly to Turkey and get the hair implants done.
That's true.
Okay, so you're going to be fine.
Listen, you
don't feel sorry for you.
You got to pimp that. You got to use it, especially if it grows in the right way. It comes in cool, and you get there. Like, listen, stay on top of it, baby.
Yeah, man.
You got to work with what you got.
Yeah,
that's it.
I ain't got nothing.
But I like when people stick with the gray. I don't know what it is about, and no knock. And maybe there are some men who dye their hair and it does look natural. My experience, it always looks like it turns them all into redheads. How did that happen with men's hair dye? Women's hair dye is not like that. Women dye their hair blonde and they look blonde
all the time. Yeah,
every guy dyes his hair. It looks like they're redhead.
They start dyeing their hair and then their face looks like a catcher's mitt, and it's like you can't dye that. Just keep up with what's going on.
That is a real problem.
Exactly. Don't worry about your hair.
I think it's the application of technology. They've been working on it for longer with women's hair than with men's hair, and I think they just have better technology that is marketed towards women. I bet if you broke off and were like, I'll just buy the hair dye that they say is only for women, I bet you that's even better than men's.
I like using women's deodorant.
I think their technology is a little bit better than the men's.
Say, I know that they say that pink tax and it's all the same stuff. I think the women's stuff is better.
It's really good.
I think the razors. Have you ever found a women's razor in the shower and you needed a quick little touch up and you grab it? Oh, it's smooth like butter.
I haven't shaved my face in 15 years. Last time was
don't miss it.
No, I
don't miss it either.
I had to do it every single day with a razor when I played for the Devils, because that's what Lou Lamoriello would make everybody do, just like the Yankees, the Yankees, because they were best buddies.
Yeah.
And so every single day, and he'd come up and look at me after games, and I had to run in there and shave a little bit because it was just peeking out a little bit. Yeah, that sucks. So I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
Plus, your face doesn't look as fat when you have a beard.
No, it's why I've got the beard. There's a great video on TikTok of a guy singing a song where he's weighing the dilemma of he can either look older and have a beard, or he can look younger but look like fat and not so good. And it's the dilemma back and forth. To me, it's no dilemma because I did the same thing. I mean, I know that this beard being all white ages me easily 10 years. I couldn't give a rat's patoot.
Cares.
I need this. My brand.
Yeah.
This is my strength. This is like Samson's hair.
Yeah, it looks perfect actually. Hey, we were talking.
That's the word I'd use.
We were talking. Maddie and I are 90s guys, 90s kids. I remember everything in the 90s, and I always look back at the 80s and talk to people that grew up in the 80s. And I just feel like that was a cool decade.
Mm-hmm.
And you're an 80s guy. Like, am I wrong on that?
Yes, I was born in 71. So like when you watch Stranger Things, right, which is considered kind of this definitive 80s experience, those kids are the exact age that I was, because, the show starts in 1983. They're like 12 years old and on their bicycles. And I'm like, this is my childhood. This is exactly what it was like. There was a lot to love about the 80s. 80s movies were great. 80s music was great.
Yep.
The freedoms that we had as children
there it is.
I pity the children of today for not having what we had. We had none of these devices, which I get it. I live on mine too, so I pass no judgment. But I thank the heavens that I didn't have that stuff when I was in my youth. The only thing, and I don't want to make light of it because it was very serious, only thing in the 80s that really cast a pall on the entire decade was the outbreak of AIDS. Because like there were those years, I turned 13 years old in 1984. Okay. AIDS is kind of at its peak. It's discovered before 84, but I think that's when it kind of gets its official name and people start becoming aware of it. And for the next decade, all the way through the movie Philadelphia, when there was a little bit more public understanding and acceptance, for that 10-year period, there was no sexual revolution for my generation. Because those years that everybody would have been like messing around and trying stuff and
were you nervous?
Irresponsible. Well, let's say this. I didn't even get an opportunity to be nervous. I wasn't invited to that party, but a lot of people would have been. You know,
1990
in the 80s. Just from the kissing years, like from 13 years old to 23, that's when you're supposed to be experimenting and doing things on spring break and random stuff with whatever. And let's just say it was really, it didn't exist. It was never going to exist for me regardless. I wish, but it just wasn't meant to be. But it didn't exist for anybody during that time period. Very few people.
What's comparable now, like anything at all that we've seen the last 30 years that compares to that as far as
I can't think
scaring people every day.
No,
like
COVID? No, COVID wasn't like that because COVID really, for most people, they never really felt it was going to be deadly for them. And it didn't stop them from their favorite hobby, sex.
Yeah.
You know,
made a lot of people drink more, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. If anything, they turned to their favorite hobbies even more so.
They got pools, they had kids.
Exactly. You know, all of that. Nothing good came out of AIDS other than a lot of fear. And a lot of it irrational fear, some of it very rational fear.
Well, I remember when Magic had, I was like, Magic's gonna die.
Yeah,
that was really
like,
that was
oh my
scary.
God.
That one did hit home, and especially he was just it wasn't like Magic Johnson now either. I mean, he's still a legend, of course, but that was him when he was a god. So it was like a god coming out and saying they were HIV positive.
Were people scared
terrifying.
to play against him?
No, yeah.
I mean, were they complaining?
I mean,
like
Karl Malone's whole thing alone was the worst.
And it was terrible for him. There were concerns, about bleeding on the court and what that might mean. But in every walk of life, people were, look, it was new. And, you heard what the doctors were saying about how things spread and how they don't spread. But a lot of people just didn't trust that. So,
man.
But we had great, you would have loved it. You really would have loved the 80s. The opportunity, I tell you, like, getting to see Raiders of the Lost Ark in 1981 on the big screen.
One of my favorites.
Nobody had seen anything like that, like to that level. That opening sequence with the giant ball and everything. As a kid at 10 years old, it changed my life. That to me became the definitive movie-going experience by which every other time I'd go to the movies, all I was ever doing was chasing the feeling that I had watching that movie in absolute wonder.
All three of them. Well, there's more, but the first three, and you could rank them, but that was certainly the best.
Hey, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Last Crusade, and Temple of Doom.
That's the order right there.
Yeah, there it is. I got into Ghostbusters hardcore.
Great movie.
Oh, man, I was obsessed with it. It had a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And for 80s kids, our God was Bill Murray. His sort of sarcastic, better than everything. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, those icons in the 80s. You got the three Mikes. You've got Tyson Jordan and Jackson.
Oh, okay.
You got Eddie Murphy. You got all the SNL
and you
folks
got Eddie Murphy when he was at his peak. I mean, what an explosion when he did. And he's like 22 years old doing 48 hours.
Yeah.
We're like, this guy's going to have a career.
I mean,
he did. And then Trading Places and the Beverly Hills Cop, right?
That was
boom,
a big
boom.
one.
Oh, my God. You can't even imagine. We haven't had anything like that. Can you think of any other comedic star in the last 25 years who came on and exploded like that? Maybe
At that
not
young of an age, absolutely not.
Jim Carrey in 94 is the closest comparison.
Yeah.
He had a lot in 94.
3 movies. His Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber, and then he was off to the races.
Yes.
That's the closest comparison. But even that's 31 years ago.
Man,
oh my God.
I'm trying to think. I know now you got me thinking, who else? To go from there to there.
Has anyone watched The Mask lately? Does it hold up?
It's okay. It's the worst of probably of the 3 of 1994. I would put The Mask at the bottom, and then Ace Ventura number 2, and Dumb and Dumber number 1, because I think Dumb and Dumber gets referenced.
Dumb and
more
Dumber,
than
yes.
in the movie.
The one thing out of The Mask though was Cameron.
Diaz.
That's right,
baby. I was young. I saw her. I'm like, interesting.
And my best
something's going on here. Interesting.
My best friend Ron Barlin, I'll never forget, because he never talked about women, and we were talking about it. And when she did that movie, then he started talking about women, because he said, I finally that Cameron Diaz in The Mask. Whoa. That is his dream. That is where his dream begins and where his dream ends. And I can't argue with him. That not necessarily my type. I like him dark and exotic.
Me too.
Salma Hayek.
She looks great too.
Right now, you give me Salma Hayek in Desperado.
Yes. Oh yeah,
Desperado. By the way, great movie. It really is. You want to talk about a fun movie? I came out of there so pumped and just like shooting air guns at everybody.
Wait,
I just wanted. I came out of there and wanted to kill everybody for fun.
And
it was a good time.
90s had some damn good movies. I mean, those Western. Tombstone was a big boy.
Iconic movies. Quick and the Dead for me is a guilty pleasure movie. I love that movie. If you've never seen it, Gene Hackman, Leonardo DiCaprio, Sharon Stone, Russell Crowe, Gary Sinise. And it's just like a whole, and it's Sam Raimi directed it before he did the original Spider-Man movies. Highly stylized. If you haven't seen The Quick and the Dead, talk about a guilty pleasure.
I'm gonna check that out.
Oh my God! But I mean, it's just to chew popcorn to. There's no story to it. It's just this extended gun duel. This gun, quick draw competition.
But it was really popular. I mean, that's when the early Leo days. My dad really got me into Dance with Wolves.
Yeah,
that was
a great movie.
Fantastic.
A great movie, but I always resented it a little bit because it beat Goodfellas at the Oscars, and I always felt like, come on, Come on.
Yeah,
it did. I love Goodfellas so much. I still do. But all props to Dance with Wolves. A great movie.
Kevin Costner had that run in the early 90s.
I
They
think
just went crazy.
the greatest run in his run from 87 to 93 and Tom Hanks's run from 92 to 2000 are the two greatest runs any actors have ever had in the history of
I have
Hollywood.
a crazy choice here, but if you're talking late 80s, early 90s, Native American kind of like vehicles, Last of the Mohicans for me is always. I always go Last of the Mohicans over Dances with Wolves.
Daniel Day-Lewis, baby.
Day-Lewis.
I'm a huge Daniel Day-Lewis fan.
One of our
Lincoln.
two best actors of his era. Him and Christian Bale, to me, are the two best.
The fort sniping scene is just unbelievable in that movie.
I got to give a shout out though. One of the comedies, Friday, where Chris Tucker came on the scene.
Party. Oh, I'm loving it.
Chris Tucker came on the scene. I'm like, who? This guy?
Yep.
I had to look at the order that they happened in, but Al Pacino went on a run with The Godfather, Serpico, Godfather Part 2, Dog Afternoon in a row, and he did all of those in 3 years.
And he was nominated for Oscars for all four of the movies that you just.
How do you have time to do that? All right, how do you have time? You're bouncing back and forth. You're doing this.
Oh my God!
Like, how do you even put it all together?
He also came in between 92 and 97 with Glenn Ross, Son of a Woman,
Carlito's Way.
Carlito's Way, yep.
Sean Penn's great.
Heat 95.
Sean Penn in that movie was a weirdo.
Carlito's Way.
Yeah.
Now he's another one of his era.
City Hall, Donnie Brasco, and The Devil's Advocate, all in a 5-year run.
Remember in Carlito's Way, they just got the lawyer, what's his name, Sean Penn, just kind of gets him in more trouble, gets himself in more trouble. Then they're dealing with those hardcore gangster guys, those Irish guys at the end.
That's Carlito's Way is a movie that's gotten more popular as with the passage of time, not fully appreciated. And you know what you left out in there too? The documentary he did called Looking for Richard, which was outstanding. It may not be listed in IMDb because he was himself, so it may be listed.
I was looking at it on Wikipedia, where they were just kind of blending stuff together.
Yeah, because that's actually a great documentary about making Richard III.
Well, we're talking about gangster movies, and we were talking earlier about best villains. One of the most underrated villains of all time, 90s, is Nuno Brown from New Jack City.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love
Nino.
Never seen it. You talk about villains in a movie.
This is bigger than Nino Brown.
He is one of the most cold-blooded villains in any movie. New Jack City is incredible.
Now, I was not privy to your earlier conversation. I'll mention I'm positive that this had to have come up in your discussion. But Javier Bardem and No Country for Old Men, right?
Fantastic. It was the first name mentioned by the chatters.
It had to be. Yep. That, to me, is the absolute best depiction of just evil incarnate. Evil as not even as a person, as a force of nature, as an immutable, nonstop, persistent force of nature. Just incredible. And I will go so far as to say that the scene at the gas station with the coin is probably, in cinema, one of the scariest scenes in terms of tension. And when you really think about it, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Chigurh at the gas station, or opening scene of Inglourious Bastards, Christoph Waltz with the French Gary Farmer.
Christoph Waltz.
Which one has your blood pressure higher?
The opening scene of Inglourious Bastards, which to me is probably the best opening scene of any non-action movie.
One of the best opening scenes of all time, too. There's action in it, but just the character establishing itself was in The Dark Knight.
Yep.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger hit the ground. And you haven't even seen Batman didn't show up until the second or third scene.
Yeah.
No, because the truth is it's not Batman's movie.
No,
it's not.
No.
And
it's rarely ever Batman's movie.
Yeah,
Any good Batman movie isn't about
That's the
Batman.
difference between Superman and Batman. Superman is always Superman's movie, and then when it's Batman, it's always the villain.
Which makes the Batman movies always more interesting than the Superman movies, because villains are more interesting than good guys.
Yes.
The good guys tend to be drawn very vanilla. Yeah. They don't give them the complexity that they give to the bad guys. The bad guys are far more interesting. Better parts.
Yeah, because they tell the truth more.
You know who's killing it right now, currently? That's somewhat of an actor, but he's more of a director. Is that Taylor Sheridan?
Oh my God!
Gosh,
he
he's killing it with Yellowstone. He's got the news show now.
He's got Tulsa King. He's got Landman with Billy Bob.
1883.
1923.
I mean,
he I think didn't he do the movie Hell or High Water?
Yes, Hell or High Water.
So
pretty good.
He has kind of become. You know what it is? I think that he came on television at just the right time where I think there was a large portion of the American public that wasn't really getting anything served up for them, any of their stories, whether it's people in the Midwest or, those kind of stories that go in the Midwest all the way down through Texas. A lot of Hollywood and a lot of entertainment in general is coastal. You have a lot of people in California making entertainment. You have people in New York making entertainment. And it's great stuff. I mean, obviously, it's what established those industries. But I do think there was this big voice missing from it that covered sort of the middle of the country. Just like with music. Music, you get it because you have Nashville and you have Memphis. So you've always had good music and you have country music living down there. There was no equivalent of that in the television universe. I think Taylor Sheridan filled that void like perfectly. You always had a show or two that kind of lived in that world. Like the old Friday Night Lights show was kind of like that. Yeah. Now you have a creator who's built an entire industry around how do I make entertainment for the parts of the country that are not on the coast.
How much money is he making?
Oh my God.
What is he making?
They can't print the money fast enough to put it in his pocket.
Oh my God. And he looks like a cowboy. He's a cowboy. Handsome, he's got everything.
Paramount should be thanking him every day because that's what really launched their network.
They are. And honestly, it's no fluke that's sort of the. And listen, we can get controversial if we want a little bit, but I think that if we're just talking about it from a business standpoint, forget politics, but just business wise, I think CBS is positioning themselves. They were always sort of that wholesome mid-America station anyway, early on with things like the Waltons and what have you. Then they became cutting edge controversy in the 70s with all of their Norman Lear sitcoms, and that made them edgy. But now I think because of Paramount, because of the success of the Taylor Sheridan, that's where their demo is now. And so it's no surprise to me that Stephen Colbert, got the axe from CBS. I think it's signaling part of a bigger picture with CBS, and we're going to be catering to a different part of the country. We're going to find the audiences in the Midwest and in the South, and that's who we're going to be. And he doesn't fit into that.
Was he losing a lot of money?
That's what they claimed. Yeah. But come on, he had the number one talk show.
Yeah.
And he's had the number one talk show for they took over the number one spot. He came on in 15, slow start, took over the number one spot in 16. It took him about a year, and he's basically stayed on top the entire time. So come on. If they're losing money on that, please.
I heard he's got 200 people working for him.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Wow.
Listen, you know what? He'll be making whatever deal he wants to make when May rolls around.
He can go on YouTube and make money.
I suspect, and we talked about this extensively, I think you're going to see this as a golden opportunity for Netflix or one of the streaming platforms, but most probably Netflix.
It's coming. It's coming.
They're already crossing into live.
If you see what they did with John Mulaney's show, which was hilarious.
Exactly what I was thinking about.
The space is there. When you look at what Netflix is really going to get into, the thing you really need to watch out for is going to be SNL. Whenever the change happens at the top there, I can see Netflix jumping directly into that. Too.
Really?
So,
listen, if Netflix, they recognized they needed to have their own programming. They made comedy their cornerstone by getting all of those stand-up specials of all of those comedians. They were paying them $20 million a pop, with Chappelle over and over, and Bill Burr over and over, and a bunch of the other specials that they have on there. And, they have an international audience. That's the big difference. CBS, NBC, and ABC, for as big as they are, they're big in this country. Mm-hmm. The world's a big place, and Netflix dominates the world. He makes a move to Netflix, and he opens himself up into areas that nobody has really explored for a live show like that. So I think that's most likely, what'll happen. Secondarily, I guess HBO could have a juggernaut of John Oliver, Bill Maher, and Stephen Colbert, and really have a lineup there. Right? Because Mars on
he's on HBO,
But I still think this is the Netflix play.
Bill Simmons has a theory that he thinks Jon Stewart might quit on air as a form of protest over Colbert getting the axe over political things.
Only does it once a week.
So I'm like, that's it would be interesting if all of a sudden Stewart's also a free agent.
There's some big dogs out there, big free agents.
Oh my God!
There's money and there's dollars to go around, and there's streaming platforms to go around. Don't let Amazon decide to say that they want to get into that fight too.
Huge. Which is to say, why on earth would CBS just cut ties with Colbert because he's losing money. He has an audience. He has a following. Even if they had to change the format, even if they had to do something totally different, you don't give him up as a property.
There's a lot of knees getting bent right now. Sometimes two at a time.
2 at a time.
I tell you what,
Speaking of knees getting bent, maybe we should talk about the podcast that.
What's up?
How'd
it go, baby?
I think it went well for our first episode. And our second episode is going to be live this Saturday on 11 a.m. Will be July 26th. It's going to be great. We're going to talk about a lot of professional wrestling topics coming off of TNA Slammiversary. AJ Styles making an appearance. A lot of SummerSlam. We're building up in WWE to the biggest party in the summer, SummerSlam, which will be on August 2nd, August 3rd. First time it's on 2 nights, so it's a 2-nighter like WrestleMania. More money for a promotion to run a show
and more entertainment for us. And I think on your show on the 26th, they'll be live.
Yeah, live.
So Larry Nickel, if you're out there, you got to make sure to call in. We've been dying to get this marriage together. And then on top of that, the August 2nd show, that's going to be a full preview of SummerSlam.
Full preview of SummerSlam.
So if you really want to enjoy watching SummerSlam on Saturday night and Sunday night, you're going to want the preview during the morning on Saturday because you're really going to set up the behind the scenes of the behind the scenes.
Yeah. That's what we like. That's what we want to see. Matty was he saw Goldberg's final match the other day in Atlanta.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was there. Now, Brody, have you gotten any backlash on your hot Goldberg?
Goldberg reached out? It's some, but I mean, I think it's fair. I think it's fair. And how was it in Atlanta, by the way? You were there in person.
It was. I mean, the crowd was big for both events. God, my neck is terrible. I can't even look at you sitting right here. But it was a great crowd. Sunday's crowd for Evolution was hotter than Saturday's.
I think
Saturday got a little confusing when Seth Rollins got hurt. People were like, whoa, what's going on? It kind of threw a wrench in the momentum of everything. But I mean, it's Atlanta, it's Goldberg. It was a whole big thing. So it was nice.
Yeah, he played for the Falcons, played for the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia Bulldogs, biggest football team in the state of Georgia.
That's
Sorry,
right.
Falcons.
That's right. No, there's no competition there.
In the state of Georgia and Atlanta, I'm sure the Falcons are big, and Goldberg played for him. So, yeah, and of course, WCW when he won the title from Hogan in the Georgia Dome in 1998. Right. I mean, he's so over in Atlanta. A lot of former Falcons players.
Is he overrated?
Yeah, he's overrated. Yeah. He's overrated. Yeah.
No hesitation.
Yeah. And the fact that he goes out there on Ariel Helwani's show and just acts like he's somehow the Undertaker and John Cena and he should have been treated like them. He's not even in the same universe as them as professional wrestlers.
What prevented him from being legitimately worthy of the hype? Was it just the athleticism?
Bad booking and just limited of what he can do in the ring, and his matches are too short. He doesn't have enough moves, and when more people do athletic moves,
about. And he ran out of breath.
Yeah, and he ran.
That's a big deal.
Is that right? That's why I'm not in the game.
Get blown up. Yeah,
I ran out of breath just from talking the first part of this.
He didn't like to get beat up much. Like Ric Flair could fall. It was boom right.
Nobody was getting more practice of getting bagged up in and out the ring than Ric Flair.
The best at getting beat up. He was the best at getting beat up.
Sure.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, of course. He was great at getting beat up because that's the heel's job in wrestling is to get beat up and get the baby face over. That's their whole job.
Now, you spent some time with Ric Flair last year.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. We were at a car shield.
We were doing a car shield commercial shoot, and Ric Flair was there. And he was there the whole day. A lot of fans coming out. We did it over at the practice hockey arena.
Centene.
Yeah. So
I saw it.
Yeah. Everybody was coming out there. They all wanted, and we had Ryan O'Reilly was there too, who I've gotten to know pretty well.
Shen was there. Michael Chandler was there. That was big.
Oh yeah.
It was a fun day, but Ric Flair was the best, and you came because you had his shoes.
Oh yeah.
And which he was excited to see.
Of course.
Sign those. We did the pictures and the conversation. Threw a few woos out there. He's good with the fans. I think that's one of the reasons he's just stayed so popular for as long as he has.
Can I ask a question about him, though?
Yeah.
I know, him going out there, I don't know how much money he made, even in the 70s, but, he's got real Rolex. And he bought those real, and he's throwing them in the stands. Is he ripping up real money? Is he really flying private?
He is flying private, I can tell you that right now. Because that costs out the ass. Plane. Yeah, I can tell you he was flying private.
Really?
Don't know about the money. That's probably. I don't know if he's throwing out real Rolexes or not. But I know he had a heck of a time at the hotel after the events. We all know that.
I can't imagine he's throwing out real Rolexes.
If the money's gimmick, the Rolexes better be.
I mean, even an inexpensive Rolex, and that's you're talking about a junky.
What'd you say,
The cheapest Rolex you can get, a used one, is like $4,000.
Well, you can go back to the 1950s, but those are not what he's purporting to throw out.
Exactly.
The ones that he's purporting to throw out, minimum, you're talking $10,000, but more realistically, closer to $30,000-$35,000. He's not throwing those out.
Okay.
This guy's, come on, especially given how easy it is to get nice looking fakes. The problem with the Rolex fakes is that, because some people will have them, when they travel on the road or whatever, they don't want to take their real stuff. They don't want to risk it.
I get that.
They look good, especially if you're looking from 10 feet away, but they do not work well. And the thing with the Rolex is, if it doesn't have that sweeping hand, that smooth, buttery, soft sweeping hand, in an instant it's not real.
Really?
And the fake ones can never recreate buttery
I went to
sweeping hand.
the big flagship Rolex store up in New York.
Game changer.
And they take you through that thing, and I was just like, oh my God.
How they put it together?
If you throw one of those into the crowd,
Cameras.
you're insane.
Well, even him flying. So my point is, aren't they all together after the match? They get into a bus together.
That's now. Back in the day, they got there on their own.
Okay, on their own. And he's legit. Everybody else is packing up in a van. They're probably going together, just kind of squeezing.
No, they would drive like a car together. It would be like two or three of them.
But he's flying private.
Limo, though.
Yeah.
He's spending all that money and flying
Well,
private.
he's not spending it, but the
promotion's
promotion
spending
is.
all the money. Yeah.
Oh.
Promotion's spending all the money.
Because his image is what's selling the
Exactly.
match.
There you
That's
go.
exactly it.
So you need to see Rick getting off the plane, hopping off the thing with the four
Why do you
horsemen
think
and doing
Crockett
the
had
whole
to
thing.
sell his promotion to Turner in 1988?
Wow.
Because he was,
spending a lot.
That's how
Interesting. Okay.
You're creating a mythology.
Of course.
When you're getting to that level, and you got to support all the things that add to that mythology.
Somebody looks at you wrong, just like Undertaker wouldn't change when he'd see people. He had to be that man.
If you're
Whoa! What do you mean? He's dead.
He's dead.
That's what he is.
He is risen.
What are you talking about?
He's risen.
Man, but no, that's crazy times. That's crazy times over there. But it was good experience. We're going to have him on the podcast. Mark my words. We're manifesting that into the universe.
Ric Flair.
But we're gonna have Ric Flair on.
Before, he shouldn't be alive right now. And the way
That's how you know you got time.
You
can get him and Keith Richards on the same show.
Keith Richards too.
Honestly,
what is it?
I was really sad when Toby Keith got sick and when he passed away. That was a heartbreaker because he was one of my just a person who I thoroughly enjoyed their music. I liked his persona.
Yeah. Yep.
But he used to do all that stuff with Willie Nelson. And they made a Beer for My Horses was a movie that is kind of a guilty pleasure. It's kind of I know it's silly, but I kind of like it. They did some music together. And I remember thinking back then, I was like, my God, he's lucky to be working with Willie now because I don't know how long Willie's going to be around for. And Toby was so young. And now I live in a world where Willie's still alive and Toby's gone. And you realize you can't predict this universe.
No.
Anything can happen to anybody at any time. You got to find a philosophy that lets you enjoy your life on a day-to-day basis and yet still get your responsibilities done. That's the hard part. They say live every day like it's your last. Well, you can't do that because you got bills to pay.
Yeah.
But if you live like you got unlimited time, then you're putting things off you shouldn't be putting off. That's the challenge of life, right? Is how do you kind of allow yourself to enjoy yourself now but still get your stuff done?
Do you think some of these guys like Keith Richards, they're doing some infusion with his blood and Romania,
Yes,
is there?
Yes, he's a vampire. I think to answer your question on the quick side, of course they're doing these guys. I mean, listen, they're rich, they're celebrities, they have incentive to want to live long. My guess is when they're home, all they're doing is hydrating.
Yeah.
They're like liquid IVing it all day long.
I don't even think they want to be home. They're so used to, even like James Hetfield came out and he was so depressed, and you go home, you're depressed because you're used to being on the road with all the guys and making music. So you only euphoric high you can create.
Yeah. Well, don't you think the dopamine of being in front of a crowd and having them just worship you it's got to be such a high.
Well, you were an musician has like 6 retirement.
The biggest
tours.
high you could possibly imagine.
So what do you
trust me? I don't know about
that. Talk about that. So you've experienced that. I mean, you've
best
been
of the best.
Yeah. So how do you live without that when you're no longer out there going on
AM radio, baby? No,
he's still hanging out with me,
doing a podcast like that, kind of still skating. stuff like that, kind of being in a scene, having a good show.
Can I answer this for you?
Here's
how you get over it. You go play Blues Fantasy Camp and you bag up the guys that spend
and score 4 goals.
Spend $7,000 to get there. You're letting them score for 2 periods. You realize you're losing. Then you go out there and put 10 on them in 1 period, and then you win.
Even like Chaser's fantasy game for his cancer, I felt so good after that game. Although I was so dehydrated, but you went out there. You're playing in front of everybody. I was playing with Steiner and Steve Ott. We scored a bunch of goals, and everybody's going crazy like that. It got it back a little bit there.
Do you need me to coach you to glory?
I just feel like I'd be chasing that feeling all the time.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. But those guys have it way, way more. I mean, you're every other day, like sometimes you're on the ice and you want to get the hell off the ice because you're embarrassing yourself. So they kind of balance it out a little bit. But you go out there and have a 2-minute fight, and you're at home, and all your friends are watching, your family's there, and you go to the penalty box like, God, man, that it's hard to come down from that. You want it more and more and more.
I wish that there were more like old timers games. I wish there was a senior league for more sports other than just senior golf. I mean, if I could control the universe, because
like the big 3,
because you know why? Because even don't you find as a fan that just like he's getting a high when he gets on the ice and has a moment where it feels like it used to. I feel like the fans are having that same experience when they're getting to see one of the people that they love playing. I went to the Winter Classic when Wayne Gretzky took the ice, and I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the lures we're here talking about pro wrestling. That's why that continues to have a cross-generational appearance. Because, I mean, when you talk about Goldberg in, 97, 98,
yes,
I was watching that with my grandfather. My grandfather's been dead for 20-plus years now. And these guys, because of the nature of what pro wrestling is, they can still get out there and do it. Now, that Goldberg I saw 2 weeks ago isn't the Goldberg.
Right. When he came out, I'm like,
it'd be like, it's like
Ric Flair had a heart attack in his retirement, man.
But how did we all feel when Mike Tyson had the fight, against Paul? And
I was upset. Maybe I was different.
Well, but maybe,
I didn't like it.
Wait, maybe upset that he was doing it, but the excitement of seeing him back in a ring with the trunks and come on.
No way.
It
wasn't because I remember Tyson when he was a killer. And now he's completely different. He's fighting a guy that's way younger that's going to pop him. I don't want to see him get hit. I felt bad for him. I want to protect him at all costs. I think he's a very interesting guy. He's been through so much. He's a very smart guy. If you listen to him talk, he knows a lot about a lot of things. Like, he's interesting. I want to protect his brain. I didn't like that at all. It drove me nuts.
It would have been great if you could have started protecting his brain 40 years earlier.
I know.
It would have been great. He's a really, really interesting person.
He is.
I met him and got to see him speak at a legal conference of all places, because one thing about lawyers, we tend to be big sports people, and we will shell out.
One thing, if you're looking for a client, here is one.
We are. Let me tell you, we will shell out some serious bucks.
Is this a Tyson mushroom story? Or we're not going to.
Oh well, he did. He spent the whole time talking about his mushroom resident, and he really went off the rails for about 20 minutes. Nobody had any idea what he was talking about. But it was fine, because it was like, we would rather see that and have a legitimate Tyson moment than just see him talk about his boxing career or whatever. But lawyers will shell out. They love athletes, and they want them to come speak at conferences. So I've had Larry Fitzgerald, one of the best guys I got to meet. Kurt Warner, we spent time with him, and God, that guy has got everything going for him.
Didn't you have to open up for Michael Phelps once?
Michael Phelps, yes. And I was the speaker, and I was on right before Phelps, and he was good. I felt I was better, but he's listen, I wouldn't say I'm a better swimmer.
No, me either.
But I do speak. But I do speak for a living.
Oh God, not today, Matty.
No,
not today.
But I have a lot of these athletes. P. Rose spoke at one of our things too, and we love it when the athletes come out and talk, because we're all just people that wanted to be athletes. We weren't given those gifts. Yeah. So we became lawyers,
Right?
And but that's why we get back, and we wind up investing and wanting to be a part of sports and the organizations and the podcasts, and even Brown and Crouppen. It's why we sponsor so many sports related podcasts. Yes, obviously we're trying to get our name out there and generate business, but you never know who's going to need a lawyer. They could be doing anything, right? So where we choose to put our ads really doesn't have anything to do with the likelihood that somebody's going to need a lawyer. I have no idea who's going to get rear-ended today, but you put it out there in the areas where, you just want to be because you want to be there. You figure, why not? So I love seeing our name out in Busch Stadium, out in right field, out there every time someone takes a picture, every time someone hits a home run to right field and it's on ESPN or whatever, and you see our sign. That's how I feel when you take the ice.
There it is.
It's that little pride, that little dopamine rush.
Yep.
Of, because that's kind of a big deal. I mean,
it's a big deal. I'd be staring at that thing all game.
We don't take it for granted. To be associated with that in any way is an amazing feeling. And I hope we start feeling the same way being the sponsors of your podcast. Because that is powered by Brown and Crouppen as well. See, but he knows how to take care of his sponsors. See how he's on
there. It is.
Of course,
I want one of those.
Blocking the camera.
You're blocking it with your full head of hair.
Oh,
if you didn't have a full head of hair, you would have had it
back for a second. The camera's on
there.
Delay,
it is,
of course.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Oh man. Well, listen, we appreciate you guys coming in. We love chatting it up. We could chat up for a long time. We got a lot more to talk about. So tell us more about your podcast. When do you on again?
It's gonna be on Saturdays, every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on 590, the Lou Information Station, Wrestling on the Spectrum. It's going to be great. I'm telling you.
There it is.
More coming down the pike.
We love it, man. We love it. And of course,
3 lawyers eating sandwiches. You should tune in.
Yep.
I don't know.
Later today, I believe.
Is
right?
it at 3 o'clock on Tuesdays? I got to check with Dave. Has it started yet?
I believe this week it starts this week. Yes.
Okay. I wonder. Any idea who our guest is today? Is this the Iggy episode?
I do not know.
This could be the.
Let me say
what way to kick it off?
Could be Iggy.
Yeah. This is the Iggy episode.
Steve Ewing from Steve's Hot Dogs, and of course we got a great episode with Devin Alexander.
It might be his episode actually, because I think we're promoting. He's got a huge event.
Yeah.
For those interested, it's a back to school night, August 2nd. It's a boxing promo. Devin Alexander. It's raising money for these kids.
Yep. At Vashon High School. At
Vashon. We're sponsoring it. Brown and Crouppen is. Cool. Got to give back to the community. Like I tell people, Morgan & Morgan, you hear their name. What have they given back to St. Louis?
Florida.
I can list for you what they've taken from St. Louis, but I can't list for you one thing that they've given back to St. Louis. And let me tell you, they're great guys. I know John Morgan well. I'm impressed with him. He's an empire builder. He doesn't care about St. Louis. Cares about Morgan & Morgan, cares about the having an empire, but they're not in a position to do anything for the St. Louis community, and they won't do anything for the St. Louis community. We do. Some of our competitors, they do a few things too. Nobody does as much as we do.
Nope.
And we say that as a point of pride.
Yes, Brown and Crouppen cares.
You should be proud of that.
We do, because you know what? We love St. Louis. It's our city. We kept our offices in the city limits specifically so that we can keep paying a city earnings tax and fund our city. We think it's our civic responsibility.
And the people understand that here. They get it and they love it.
We did not run off to the county like so many other firms did just to save 1% of their earnings. We said, you know what? The city needs it. We're going to stay in the city.
See, that's what separates you. Right
that's
on,
the
guys.
difference. It means something to us.
We appreciate you guys coming in. We'll talk. You coming in Tuesdays, Wednesdays? It doesn't matter.
Our
Whenever
normal
you want.
time, we'll always be in on Tuesday morning. Cool. Unless our schedules take us out of town, and we'll find another
next
day.
Week we'll probably be on Thursday next week, 9 a.m. because we're going to be in Kansas City.
Yeah, we're hitting our because we are Kansas City too. We're all Missouri, so we got work to do out
all
there.
All sevens.
All right, guys, we appreciate it. Yeah. We're going to go to
appreciate
break.
You, boys.
We will be back. This is Hot Take Central 2.0. Woo.
This hour of content on the Lou Information Station is brought to you by Grandpa Pigeons, Johnny Mac's Sporting Goods, and Becky's Carpet and Tile Superstore.
Hey, see that, kids? That's the St. Louis Arch, the gateway to the west.
The Lou Information Station, where we'll always call it Highway 40 or Highway 40 if you're a boomer.
The St. Louis expression?
Stream our content 24/7 at louinfo.com. The Lou Information Station.
Hats off to family fun on Sunday, July 27th, when the Birds host the Padres. That day, 20,000 fans, 16 and older, will get a City Connect throw pad courtesy of Quick Trip. And thanks to Haichu, 10,000 kids ages 15 and under will take home a Cardinals hat with custom charms. Upgrade your and your kiddos' game gear. Snag your tickets today at cardinals.com/promotion.
This is Alec Burleson, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Summer in St. Louis means one thing: Cardinals baseball. It's more than a game. It's an STL tradition. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the boom of the fireworks, It's the soundtrack to summer for Cardinals Nation. So grab your cap and glove and take your spot in the stands, because in St. Louis, baseball is more than a melody, it's our favorite song.
LouInfo.com news headlines. Brought to you by Brown and Crouppen, 222-2222.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. A Ferguson woman is facing charges after Chesterfield police say she and 2 others pulled off a high-dollar theft at the St. Louis Premium Outlets and then led officers on a high-speed chase. Employees estimate a group of 3 stole more than $7,700 worth of clothing. So far, the woman from Ferguson is the only one charged in the case. St. Louis homicide detectives are investigating a stabbing after a person was found dead in the 5600 block of Chamberlain Avenue. No arrests yet. New rules are coming to the St. Charles County libraries for challenging books. Beginning August 1st, library staff will review complaints first. If appealed, 6 of 9 board members must agree to remove a book and read it themselves. The move follows 11 book ban requests since last fall. An extreme heat warning continues today for St. Louis and surrounding towns. Heat index values up to 110 degrees are expected. The warning continues through 7 p.m. on Wednesday. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. I'm Jen Austin.
Now, LouInfo.com weather. Presented by STL Sports Central. St. Louis sports. Anytime, anywhere.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. The extreme heat warning continues today. We'll be getting sunshine, afternoon high air temperature in the mid-90s, but that heat index right around 105. We do have a slim chance of a shower. Overnight, a few clouds, upper 70s, more heat and humidity coming up on Wednesday. Sunny, and we're in the upper 90s, heat index about 110 tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Fenton Bar and Grill, home of the best trash wings in the St. Louis area and the best servers in town. Fenton Bar and Grill is located on Rudder Road in Fenton, just minutes away from the soccer park. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., so anytime is a good time to enjoy Fenton Bar and Grill. While you're there, say hi to Chuck, the 2024 Mater D of the Year. And know you'll always be around people that love sports. It's a guaranteed great time at Fenton Bar and Grill. Learn more at fentonbarandgrill.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely on advertisements.
Not sure how to get a lawyer after an accident? Call Brown and Crouppen. We'll walk you through it. Worried it'll cost too much? Here's a fact. At Brown and Crouppen, you pay nothing up front, and we never get paid unless you do. When you're our client, you'll have all your questions answered, all for free. Hurt? Get the facts and help you need. Call Brown and Crouppen now.
You've seen this. It's brand new. Are you online?
Oh, hey. Oh, so you're new here.
All right, let's get cracking.
Okay, then maybe you should check out our website.
You're insane.
Well, you download songs illegally from the internet.
LouInfo.com. LouInfo.com. The Lou Information Station. 590 AM KLIS, Wood River, St. Louis.
Our origin story begins.
Back to more of Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jansen and Jimmy the Cat Hayes on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Yeah, baby, 9:52 on a Tuesday. Hotter than the depths of hell, Matty Whitener. It is horrible outside. It puts you in a bad mood.
It's not going to get any better?
No. Dude, my grass is getting brown, and I don't like it.
Last August, my grass looked like somebody just took a blowtorch over it.
It's starting to get that way. I don't like it either.
Especially since I pay for the sprinklers to work, and I don't want the sprinklers just running over dead grass.
Yeah,
we're working backwards.
I spent a lot of money on water. Water.
Water bill is the worst bill.
The worst is whenever your water bill is gigantic, it's huge, and you look at it and you're like, okay. But then, like, it'll rain, and it'll be pouring down rain, and I look outside, and all my sprinklers are on.
You don't turn on you got to turn the sensors on.
But I know, I know, but sometimes it doesn't click on, and I got to run out the garage.
You're just out there watching both happen.
I'm watching money go down the drain. That's what that is. I mean, man, is it hot, though. Kate and I were talking, like, where do you go? Like, if you had coin, and you could spend money on another vacation home, a vacation home somewhere in the summertime here because it's so miserable, where would you go?
Detroit.
No, Flint.
Yeah.
No, Kate said. She said, like somewhere up in Michigan, somewhere.
Yeah, it would be. It wouldn't be the popular answer for that is Florida or an island, a Caribbean island, or something like that.
In the summertime,
I want out. Well, people want it, but see, I'm weird because I don't want to. I don't have to sit around. Like as we went over many times, I don't care about the water. I don't need a view of that. It doesn't matter. I'll go up to the mountains, baby, and just hang out.
Yeah,
like, I don't care.
Somewhere high elevation.
Give me something in Aspen or something that's a
little mountain town.
Yeah, give me something up there. Not like The Shining, not like the Overlook,
or not like Deliverance. Those kind of mountain hills.
I don't want those
because those are in Colorado too. You know, you don't want to be around those folks.
No.
We forgot to ask him about Deliverance too. By the way, Ed Herman has a say on everything.
We'll get an opportunity. I feel like we'll get around to that.
Let's see here. Who are the greatest villain actors and actresses of all time? Mads Mikkelsen, William Dafoe, Mark Strong, Giancarlo.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Esposito are the villains in everything I see them in.
Debo.
I'm a terrible reader today.
Tiny Lister.
Debo, baby, Debo. I loved Friday. Friday was one of the best comedies of all 90s. You ever get in that, Eli? Or is that you too young?
I've watched the original. I haven't watched.
The original.
I haven't watched
Chris
Friday After Next, but yeah, I watched the original a couple times.
Chris Tucker's like, you're not paying me $32 million to do Friday 2. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, we're not going to.
Because he was hot at the time.
We're not going to have you.
Is that what happened? Because it kind of ruined everything.
Then he just went on tour with Michael Jackson or something. I don't know. It was a weird time.
He did?
It was a weird time. Yeah.
Did he do some weird things?
I don't know.
Did he get jammed up? Chris Tucker.
Yeah, I don't know. He just kind of went away, and it was like a weird go.
Remember he was with Jackie Chan and all those movies?
Yeah, Rush Hour.
Hour,
I think that after Next Friday didn't happen, that's when Rush Hour and all that kicked off.
Oh, yeah. So he was doing his
thing.
He did
okay.
Yeah, he did okay.
What was the other movie he had? There was another one he had. It was kind of like that. He had a little run.
He had a run, man.
Yeah.
He was hilarious for a while there and then kind of just
and then
stopped.
of course, there's Everybody Hates Chris, but
that's
What's
Chris
that?
Rock.
Yeah,
that's Chris Rock.
Chris Rock exploded on the scene,
all
too.
Same.
He's another guy that was in movies and stuff like that, too, wasn't he? Chris Rock was in a ton of movies.
Been in everything.
All those comedians in the 90s, I feel like, were in movies.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was coming up then. I mean, you had Jamie Foxx was a comedian that came up during that time.
And he is.
You had Bernie Mac and Sid the Entertainer. You had Steve Harvey. You had all those guys that were coming up during that time.
Who's got the most money out of all those guys?
Out of the guys that came up
Harvey?
in the 90s?
Is it Harvey? Or is it, who's a guy that has like 500 acres? I mean,
you're thinking
half a billion.
You think about Tyler Perry?
There it is.
Well, he was just a producer, though.
Yeah, okay. He's produced everything.
Yeah. I mean,
like just a bunch of stuff.
He acts, but I mean, he acts in his own stuff. It's not like the guys we're talking about now. I would think Jamie Foxx has got to have some coin.
He's got to have coin, man. He's been in some big movies, big Quentin Tarantino movies.
Yeah, I mean,
he's been in the scene a long time.
I mean, he's got a platinum album.
He almost died.
Yeah, he had a big issue.
What was that? He had some big health issues.
It was like I think it was like a cardiac situation or something like that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was like, oh God almighty. Oh man. Yeah, so let's see here. Let's see. You love seeing it, the shows. I can't even understand. I can't look at my eyes are going bad, by the way. It's happening. It's happening.
You falling apart?
Yeah, a little bit.
Go get the LASIK.
My dad just did 2 seconds. He goes in there for 2 seconds. They go, hey, go like this. Yoink. And they go.
And he got the LASIK?
Got it done. He could see now. He could drive now.
It's
Thank God.
Set you back a couple of racks. It's okay.
No, he just got done. He had to wait in line 2 hours, and then you go in there and you get it done. It takes 2 seconds. Whoever invented that machine is making coin.
You asked me who was the richest. Let's bring this whole thing full circle.
Well, we got to go, don't we? How much time I got?
About this, and then we're out of here.
Bill Cosby is number one on the list.
Oh, really?
Rest in peace, Theo.
Still.
We're talking peak dollars, baby.
All right. Enjoy the weather, everybody out there. We will see you guys tomorrow. This is Hot Take Central 2.0.
All aboard!
There's a new way to travel, and it's one of the oldest forms of transportation.